Good evening, my friends. Forgot to turn my light on. Look a little red. Hey, there we go. It's a little bit easier to see. How's everybody doing? Monday evening. This is a little bit different for Chris Cook in Nashville, but this is a really important topic. If you are here and you are going, what the heck are we talking about? This low carb community eating itself alive. I think this is going to be a really important one, and I hope you will stick around. Make sure you hit the like and hopefully the subscribe button while you're here. That tells YouTube this is important. And if you are brand new to the channel and have no clue who I am, and you're like, who is the dude in the weird paint splatter Hawaiian t-shirt? My name's Chris. I am better known as Chris Cooking Nashville here on YouTube, and I create proper human diet recipes. I have completely reversed so many metabolic issues with a proper human diet, low carb, doing keto, doing carnivore, all of these things. I'm about 130 pounds down from where I was, and I'm working on getting rid of the rest. That's actually going really well. We're going to talk about that tonight as well. And yeah, now I spend my days doing everything I know how to do to help other people who are also on this journey. And just for a little bit of extra pizzazz and spice, because I'm a chef, I love a little spice. I'm also neurodivergent and have no issues being unmedicated for all of the things that go on with my brain, all of the diagnoses that I have, because a proper human diet keeps me regulated and keeps my brain functioning without the need for medication, which is an incredible thing, and we can talk a little bit more about that too. If you're here, drop a comment and let me know you are watching. Say hello, especially if you're brand new. I would love to say hi to you. We're going to say hi to a few people in the chat, and then I'm going to dive in to this subject of why we are talking about the low-carb community eating itself alive. And I'm going to give you, hopefully, some interesting things to think about, some of my own experiences just over the last really couple of weeks, especially, that this has really stood out to me, and I'll tell you why. And a little bit of a call to action, maybe some things we can go apply that makes not only a difference for us, but makes a difference for somebody else as well. Because if you're good at something, also meaning if you're knowledgeable about a proper human diet, keto, carnivore, any of these things, if you're good at something like that and you don't use it to help other people, what's the point of being good at something? So we're here to help people. So do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. Let's get this out on YouTube. Tell everybody this is here, and say hi to me in the chat. Tell me where you are watching from, and let's come over here and say hello to a few people. So we have Mr. Dustin from Keto Simple dropping in. Congratulations on the new family member. It's so exciting. Wish I was able to join in. We'll be at dinner. Love you. Brother, I love you too. I hope to see you on the replay. If you guys are wondering what he's talking about, Ash and I became an aunt and an uncle today. Our nephew Liam was born, and I'm sure there will be more information coming on that. But that is one of the reasons I rescheduled tonight. I was already thinking of doing some things like this, but I wanted to reschedule this morning's live for this evening because we were at the hospital today because he was born very, very, very early this morning, almost middle of the night. So we are running on very little sleep. Ash is maybe very potentially asleep already. I don't know. It has been a very exciting but trying several days, and we are very blessed that Liam is here and he is happy and healthy. So wonderful things. Lynn is here, 22 QCat. Congrats on baby Liam. How exciting. Yes, congrats to my brother-in-law Tristan and his wife, my sister-in-law Jay. They are elated and over the moon right now. Richard Williams is here. Hello, neighbor. Copper Hill, Tennessee. And the beautiful Emily Esau is here. Yay, baby. Yes, absolutely. Dennis is here, one of our band members. Band member saying hi from Newport, Tennessee. Ash and Chris, congrats on becoming an aunt and uncle. Well, thank you, Dennis. Appreciate that very much. If you guys don't know what he's talking about, we have a private community called The Band, and you can go join. We do some extra recipes, live streams, behind the scenes stuff. You're the first people to know about new things that are coming. They have gotten some sneak peeks at recipes that are going to be in the cookbook I'm working on, like all of this kind of stuff. The Band is really cool. And if you'd like to join, go to this little QR code right here with your phone, or you could also go to the link in the description box go and sign up. We would love to have you as a band member. It is so much fun to get to connect with you guys over there. We're like a great big family. So I'll leave that QR code up. And if you want, come check us out in the band. We'd love to see you guys. Marty Crum, another band member. Congrats on becoming an aunt and uncle from Marty and Paula. Thank you, Marty. Jerry, another band member. I'm here listening to you all while I work. Can't chat, so wanted to say hello. Well, hello, Jerry. I hope work is going well. Holly Springer is here. Evening, friends. Hi, Holly. And GZ, congrats on your newest addition to the family. Sending love and prayers. Thank you. And Kay is here. Hello, Kay. Hi, Chris. Good to see you. Sean Bradley, my brother Sean, another band member, is here. Good evening, all. And Brian is here. Hello, everyone. Congrats, Uncle. Thank you, Brian. Peggy is here. Good evening, Auntie and Uncle. Hello, Peggy. And Jeff Cox, another band member there, making a stream live for once. Hello, all you PhD peeps. Good to see you, Jeff. Really appreciate you. Jeff can tell you how awesome the band is because he's super active over there. So, Karen from Low Carb Spin. Hi, Chris, Lynn, Dustin, and Jerry. Hi, Karen. Good to see you. Excuse me, guys. I have junk in my throat tonight. I've been sitting outside, and the allergies got to me. D4424 is here. Good evening. Well, hello, D. Good to see you. I don't think I've seen your name before. We're so glad you're here. Jeff says, been seeing all the clickbait controversial YouTube carnivore thumbnails. Haven't clicked on a single one. No time for all that nonsense. There's a lot of stuff out there, guys. We're going to talk about it. Jeff Foltz. Good evening, everyone. Hi, Jeff. And Christine is here. Congrats. Thank you, Christine. Let's see. Alec, carnivore community took all the wrong marketing lessons from vegans. Yeah, I think we're going to talk a little bit about that because there's some places where I actually agree with you. Aunt Kay is here. Hi, Aunt Kay. How are you? And there's Cheryl. Hello, Cheryl. Stacy from Easy Peasy Keto. I'm sure Ken is right nearby. Love you guys. Good to see you. There's my dad, Papa Nashville. It means Mama Nashville is probably not far behind and watching with him. And there's Tammy. Where is everyone? I'm in Western Foothills of North Carolina. Well, of course, you guys know I'm in Nashville, I think. Rick from Twin Brook Acres is here. Hey, all. Mel's Life in Vegas. Hello, Mel. I'm guessing she's probably in Vegas, but you never know. Christine says, love your recipes. Thank you, Christine. Let's see. Heidi is here. Hey, Chris. Life has been crazy busy, but so good. Glad I'm catching this live. Say hi to Ashton. Congrats to the baby boy in the family. God is so good. Amen, he is, and I'm really glad that you are here. So thank you so much, Heidi. Let's see. And we've got people from all over the place. This is so fantastic. Sean saying congrats on the new edition. Thank you. Sherry is here. Congrats to you all. Thank you, Sherry. Deb is live with us. So glad to catch you live. Congrats on a new family member. Thank you. And Cheryl is here. Congratulations on becoming an aunt and uncle. Thank you so much. I didn't have to do any of the hard work. That was all on Tristan and Jay. They're the ones that did the hard work, but we're really glad that everything has gone well. Deb says, glad to catch you live out here in California. Very cool. Sue is here. Hi, Uncle Chris, watching from Ontario. Well, hello, Sue. And Heidi says, yes, for sure. Y'all join the band for sure. Heidi is over there and would like your company. So go to the QR code right there and come over and join us if you would like. We'd love to have you in there. Eileen, hi from O'Fallon, Illinois, near St. Louis. Very, very cool. Hi, Eileen. Peggy says, yes, definitely a lot of clickbait. I've also started avoiding them too. I understand. May, hello, and congrats, Uncle. Thank you, May. I appreciate that. And there's Sherry Nevada Pup. Hey, CCN fam. Hi, Sherry. Let's see. Heidi is up in the cold, wintry Minnesota. It must be cold up there because it got cold in Nashville too. So, and there's brother Daryl. Hi, Daryl. Says congrats, Chris and Ash. Thank you so much. And he is watching from Titusville, Florida. Well, guys, let's talk about this. Let's talk about keto and carnivore and the low-carb community and what I'm talking about when I say it is eating itself alive. Now, I may upset a few people here, and I'm not trying to. I'm trying to inspire the idea that we can be better, and I'm trying to figure out how I can, as a community, help us all come together with what part I play. I'm trying to figure out how we can start to change this narrative a little bit, because I am looking around and I am seeing this low carb community, and I feel like we have become our own worst enemy at this point. in a lot of cases. And at first it was like, yeah, it happens a little here and there, and whatever, it is what it is. And now I feel like it's getting like really rampant, like really loud, really bad. And maybe it's just me, but this is a real thing, and I want to talk with you guys about this. The low carb community, especially the carnivore side, but even keto, I'm seeing this more all the time. As it is growing, it is turning into a contest of who is more pure, who is stricter, who is more extreme than the next person, who is just, all over just talking about how everyone else is a whiner and lazy and undisciplined and all this kind of stuff. And I mean, it's really gotten out of control. I'm looking at this and I'm seeing this all over social media, and I'll tell you where I've been seeing this a lot lately in just a second, but I'm seeing this all over social media, and I cannot help but think we have lost the plot. And the problem is that the people who are getting hurt by this are the people who need the low carb lifestyle the most. It is the people who are struggling. It is the people who need low carb, who have severe health problems or food addictions or these kinds of things. They need support, and they need keto and carnivore and these kinds of things. And they're the ones that are paying the price for the fact that the community is starting to lose track of its mind. And I'm not saying this to be judgmental. I'm saying this because I care, because I love this community. I owe this community my life. I owe Dr. Barry and Nisha and Dr. Sean Baker and Dr. Anthony Chafee and Dr. Robert Kiltz and the list goes on and on and on. I owe all of these people, especially Dr. Barry and Nisha, my life. I was 400 pounds. I was metabolically super unhealthy. I was undiagnosed autistic and ADHD and OCD and completely out of control, dysregulated in my brain for so much of my life. Seriously addicted to carbs, binge eating, just really a mess. And this low carb community is what saved me. It is the reason I'm here. It is the reason I'm alive. And it is the reason that I dedicate so much of my life to trying to give back to it. I work so many hours doing this because I care about the people who need help just like I did. I'm not being judgmental when I'm trying to say we have lost the plot. I'm looking at this and it's breaking my heart to see people who are actually struggling from this. So I really want us to be able to get this message out. I want us to be able to tell people about this without turning them away, turning them off, just relegating them to a life of suffering and poor health because we were too egotistical to reach out and help them rather than what it is we're going to talk about. So the problem right now is that I am seeing the community and it's getting worse. It is getting to a point where people are busy tearing each other apart, and they're bashing each other online, and they're leaving comments, and they're insulting each other, and they're trying to outdo each other, and I ate 5 pounds of butter today. Are you even as carnivore as me? This kind of attitude, keto, carnivore, all of it is getting so judgmental with new people. And I think part of the problem is that this has grown so much that now there's a whole group of people who have found their way into this because of the people doing hard work, like Dr. Barry, for example. And now they feel like they know this, and they just feel like they're better than everyone else now. Like suddenly they have forgotten that at one time they didn't know any of this either, and someone reached out and helped them and supported them as they tried to change their life. And it's becoming a really big problem because while we are all busy in the community tearing each other apart online, big food and big pharma and big government and all of these things that have poisoned us for profit are winning. And they're laughing at us while they are in their Mercedes on the way to the bank. Because every time we attack each other instead of learn how to reach out and help people who are struggling. We further isolate people who are addicted to food, who are struggling with the carbs, who are having a hard time with their metabolic health. And what do? They go back to the food that they use to treat themselves. They go back to the medication to deal with the metabolic health from that. And they just rely on all of the same information that is out there. So I'm seeing this happen. And I realize that, big food, big pharma, all this stuff, I think that they want confusion and division like this. Because the more we fight, the less anybody is going to listen to us about the truth. And this is becoming such a rampant issue. And I'm seeing this all over the internet where it's like people are acting like this. And the reason that this started to stand out to me, over the last year and a half or so, Ash and I have been working with people, helping to kind of mentor them into the idea of low carb. And I'm not dogmatic about it. It's not like you have to be carnivore and you have to do this and you have to do that. I don't beat people over the head with stuff. I just try to teach them what I know, explain, well, this is why this might be better, or maybe this works better for you, but this is where I would start, and, just kind of give them some ideas. And I'm not a doctor. I don't give any recommendations medically or no medical advice, none of that stuff. I'm just using sort of my anecdotal experiences and my own study and my own education to try to help people find information that they can use to inform themselves so they can make an educated decision. But we have been doing this and sort of mentoring people and helping people. And over time, I can't tell you the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of messages and the dozens of people in person, all of this stuff, people who they approach me very afraid that because I'm carnivore, I'm going to jump down their throat for not being strict enough, or because they eat some keto products instead of, meat and veg, that I'm going to jump down their throat about not being keto enough, or any of these kinds of things. And when they tell us this, they talk to Ash and I about this, and they say, I've been online and I tried asking questions, trying to research this, and I got my head ripped off in every group that I went to looking for answers. Keto and carnivore people will jump down your throat if you ask even the smallest question. And at first I was like, okay, yeah, it's a couple of people. Maybe it's not really that big of a deal, or it's just their experience. They found a bad group. No, it's happening over and over and over and over and over. And when I start putting out information like my top 5 reasons people quit carnivore video, I start seeing all of these people jumping in the comments. Here's why I quit. Here's the way I was treated. Go read the comments on that. This is all over the place. It is getting out of control. And we got to figure out something to do with it, because while we're out there shadowboxing each other, they are, big food and big pharma are sitting there and they're cashing in on our silence, because the people we could be helping are not hearing the message, because they look at us and they think we're crazy. And quite honestly, I can't blame them. I think the keto and carnivore world is crazy. I think a lot of times we act insane. And I really hate that we're doing that, because there is so much good information that can save so many lives. But there are so many people in this community now that are loud, and they're absolutely crazy with the way they treat people online. Because it's like, because they're keto and carnivore and they've changed their life, whatever, they've got this huge chip on their shoulder now. Like they're better than everybody else. And I watch people, they go in the comment section on my videos, on my Facebook posts, and they're attacking me, they're attacking everyone in the comments. They just make generalizations about how if you quit carnivore, you're weak and deserve to die. I've seen this repeatedly, over and over and over and over. And I finally am at a point where I'm like, this is getting out of control and someone needs to say something. So the problem is, when this is happening, the general response that I'm seeing is just silence, right? And I have been told, I swear I'm going to scream if someone tells me this again, I have been told, oh, just ignore it. Just don't give them attention. That's all they want. They want attention. Just ignore it. And I appreciate that. And I get that. But here's the problem. There is a danger in silence at this point. There is a real severe danger of silence, because while we're sitting here being quiet, all of this is happening. And too many good people are seeing what's happening for it to be okay for us to stay quiet. The reason all of us are here is because somebody else didn't stay quiet and they told us. So why are we going to be so lazy as to be inconvenienced by having to go out and speak truth to people, politely and respectfully, but speak truth to people? Why are we so afraid to go out and tell somebody else that they can be supported and they can be successful just like we were? Why is it better to ignore the people who are making the whole community look like it's crazy, when I know it's a small minority of the community that's like this, but they're so loud? Why are we going to sit back and let them speak for us? Why is that okay? Why is it okay that it's convenient to just ignore it? Well, yeah, sure, that's easy because we're not doing anything. We don't have to do anything. But then we also sit there and it's like, great, how many people that person just turned away from keto and carnivore, how many people will not be here in a year, 5 years, 10 years, because they died a miserable early death because we didn't stand up and tell them about, no, that's not what keto and carnivore is like. And no, you don't have to be this way. And no, this person doesn't speak for all of us. And no, big food and big pharma does not have the answer for you. And no, big government does not have the answer and trying to take care of your well-being with the policies that they're writing. No, that is not what this is for. We are here because we are a community of people who are different. We care about you. We're going to support you. And this whack job in the comment section does not represent us. Why is it so hard for us to say? Maybe this is my autism, but I look at that and I go, I think that's lazy. I think it's a real cop-out for the community to say, oh, we're just going to be quiet and not say anything because all those people want is attention. At some point in time, when you're at war, you got to pull the trigger. And I think this is the time. I think we need to pull the trigger. I think a lot of people say, I don't want to get involved. I'm just going to stay in my lane, like this kind of stuff. And I get that. But the problem is that silence isn't neutral, right? Silence hands a microphone to the loudest and most toxic voices that are out there. Because if there's nothing to stand up against them and combat them, they're the only thing that people who don't know the difference are hearing. So what are we going to do to make a difference in the world? What are we going to do to change the lives of people who need help? Because being silent is not helpful. There's a biblical story. It's one of the greatest stories that Jesus told, and he's talking about how there was a Samaritan that was robbed and beaten and left on the side of the road for dead. And all of these people kept walking past this man that was beaten, right? And it's not my problem. I'm not going to get involved, right? What does he talk about? The Samaritan stopped, went to this man who was beaten. He fed him, he clothed him, he dressed his wounds, he helped him. And what's the point of that story? Whether you share my faith or not, what is the point of that story? When you see someone who needs help, stand up and do something about it. Because it's lazy and it's despicable to walk by. So when I see this stuff going on in comment sections, I go, and this is as much for me as it is for any of you. I see this in a comment section and I go, this person is attacking either a specific person or, yeah, there we go, fireworks. Yes, lots of fireworks right now. This person is attacking either a specific person in the comment section or they're just attacking anyone who would need some help and some support in general. Is it not my job to stand up and say, that's not okay? When did it become so socially acceptable for people to behave however they want and everyone else just turns a blind eye? There's a quote. I have loved this since the very first time I heard it, and it's kind of a misquote. It's an Irish statesman and philosopher named Edmund Burke, and he was the 18th century. And he had this like much longer thing that was sort of paraphrased and misquoted, but it's become a really popular quote now. And it's I'm sort of paraphrasing it, but it's something along the lines of the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. And I really feel like I live by that on a daily basis because it matters that much to me that it's like someone has to do something. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I create the recipes I do to try to help people who things like that help stabilize them. It's why I create videos about the top 5 reasons people quit carnivore, in my opinion, so that I can try to encourage those people. You don't have to quit carnivore. Or maybe you want to quit carnivore. And if you do, that's fine too. But stop beating yourself up and don't listen to people in the community. They're going to jump down your throat for it. Find what will fix your health metabolically. Lean on people who have good information they can help you with here. And work on your health. Chase your health. That's what I'm trying to show people. So I'm out here doing this work trying to help people. Because the truth is, silence is not neutral. Silence is omitting your stance, which allows the other stance to be the one that is heard. And I don't think that's right for us to do this. The problem is those voices that we're being silent and allowing them to talk, they're making us all look like a crazy cult. The number of people I have had seriously commenting on my videos and my Facebook stuff about how carnivore is a cult, I mean, it's getting crazy. People think we're a cult. They already think keto's bad enough, and carnivore, it's even worse. This is out of control because they're seeing us as a cult, not a community that's meant to heal people. How do we help people if they look at us and they don't think that we're there to help heal them? I just don't know. I don't know why it's become. I don't know why it has become so acceptable for people to go, think all of these things about us, and then we just go, oh, okay. I see, this is a great question. This popped up because what I'm talking about. Let them think of us as a cult. Why do you want to change the mind of those folks who clearly are not interested in the message? Because if we don't change their minds, and if we don't act like we're not a cult, and we don't stand up and show the difference, then we have lost the ability to get the message to those who need it. I'm not here for me. I'm here to save other people. And if I'm not, my life is worthless. What am I here to do if I'm not here to help other people who need it? I know we're not a cult. But those people out there who need our help, they don't. So why do we sit back and just, well, it's not my responsibility what anybody else thinks of me? Yes, it is. It is absolutely our responsibility. We represent the community. Whether that's what we signed up for or not, we do. You owe it to the health you have because other people helped you to turn around and help someone else. And if you don't, you are lazy and you are wasting the gift that was given to you. That is why it's not okay that people think we're a cult. Not because I can't change their mind. I can't make them take a message that they don't want. But what I can do is stop their message saying we're a cult from derailing someone else. It's like if I had 2 people in front of me who are alcoholics and I was a counselor and one of them says, I really want help, and the other says, don't listen to him, he's a cult leader. Okay, I need to shut the guy up who doesn't want me to help this other person by pointing out that he's wrong. Because I can't help that other person if they don't believe I can help them. It is our job to be decent human beings and help the people around us. And if we're not doing that, I'm sorry, you are being lazy and letting somebody else dictate the reputation you have with the people you could be out helping. That's the problem, and that's why it matters that they think we're a cult. If we keep pretending everything is fine, We are going to wake up one of these days and we are going to have lost any credibility or trust or unity or anything that we have all been working in the low carb space to build over the last however many years that this has really been growing on social media, right? This has really taken off in the last few years. But even before that, work has been laid down by people who are trying to show the truth. And I'm not saying we go out and we argue and fight with people. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you've got to be vocal about standing up and saying, this is the truth of what this community is. This is what matters. No, we're not a cult. No, we're not crazy. But it matters that you understand why we do what we do. And you don't have to agree with me. But if you're going to disagree with me, at least know why. At least know what you disagree with. Don't disagree with me because you think I'm a cult member and then end up missing everything that we could have that could help you. If you want to disagree with me because you say, I don't think the science supports that, okay, fine, we can have a discussion about that. That's an educational thing, great. That's educational discourse. That's how it should work. But the things that are going on online, where you have crazy people who are keto and carnivore jumping down people's throats, making them think, oh my gosh, what is wrong with these people? This is a cult. I want nothing to do with this. When we let those people speak for us, our message, the ability we have to help people, the credibility, the trust, all of this stuff is going to be gone. And we will have failed at the chance to truly change the world by continuing to grow this movement. Because people in it who are loud are the ones that are acting like wackos. And nobody else decided to say anything. And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. I'm just trying to say someone has got to start saying this is not right. Because burying our heads in the sand is like being the priests walking by that injured man on the road. Not my problem. Not my life. No, it is. It is your problem. It's my problem. We are all in this together. If we know this, it is our job to help people. And I just want to inspire people to do that. The movement here is not going to die because of people who are the haters. If it dies, it will be because all of the people who are the helpers, the ones who know better, were silent. We cannot be that. We cannot be silent about these things. We can be respectful. We can be logical. We can be fact-based. All of these things. Calm everything. We can be all of that. Well, we cannot be as silent if we truly want to help people and we want to change the world and we want keto and carnivore to grow. It's really important. We all started on this journey because we wanted to heal something, right? It was something with our body, our minds, like me especially, just our lives in general. There are things that need healing, and we started this journey because of the healing. And whether you are keto or carnivore or low carb or just cutting out junk, I really don't care. I don't care what label you have. We are on the same team and we need to act like it. You know, I don't like the whole vegan diet thing, but there is one thing I'll give vegans credit for. From a marketing standpoint, a whole bunch of them really figured out how to band together and make a concerted effort to appear as a unified front. And that is why veganism has grown and spread its message so far. If we're going to change the world, we're going to help people with keto and carnivore and these low carb things that we see works, it is going to be a long, arduous process, first of all. And second of all, it is one we have got to do together. We cannot do this if we are all fighting with each other. This is not about labels. It is about liberation from addiction, from disease, from the lies of our food system and our pharma system and all. Like, we are trying to become free of all of this. And when you have freedom, why do you not want to tell someone else who is still in shackles that they can be free from this as well? This is the exact same reason that my faith matters so much to me. Salvation in Jesus Christ. That's why I talk about that. And I don't have to in any way preach it at someone. I don't need to be angry. If you don't share my faith, that's okay. I love you just the same. There's nothing wrong with that, right? I believe what I believe is the only way. And I want you to know that too. But that doesn't mean I'm going to look at you any different if you don't agree with me. But I'm still going to want to tell you about it because it matters so much to me. I want you to know it too. Keto and carnivore is the exact same thing as my faith in Christ. I want you to know about it because it's done so much for me. I want you to know about it. Not to preach it at you, not to beat you over the head, and certainly not to judge you because I have no place to judge anybody in my faith or in my diet. I've been terrible with both. I'm just doing the best I can with both, and I'm trying to share that good news of both of them with anyone that'll listen because I want everybody to experience the joy that I experience from faith in Christ and the health that comes from a low-carb diet. Those are the two things that I would just love to tell everyone in the world. But if we don't stick together and we don't work as a community, how are we ever supposed to get people to listen to the message that low carb can truly heal them and change their life? And those are the people that are struggling. You know, there's a lot of people who have been talking in the comment section here about clickbait and all of the, the videos that are coming out and all this kind of stuff. And I agree, there's a lot of it. And the problem is, when you do stuff like that, you get a lot of clicks. And then you make money off of your YouTube videos, and not everyone is in this game because they want to help people. Some people are in this game to make money. Some people have the ability to do both, and that's great. But there are people in the keto and carnivore world that are in it for money. It's no different than any other part of human existence, right? Dr. Berry talks about this. Everybody's just dudes and chicks. That includes the keto and carnivore people. Some of them are going to fall to the exact same temptation of money as every other thing that's out there. So when that's not our reason, we have to be able to talk about it so that people realize not everyone is doing this for money. In fact, I don't think a lot of people are, but there are some. So when you see things like these clickbait videos that are just trying to get people to click, we don't necessarily have to go argue about it. But I do think it's really cool to be able to tell people, not on that video, in your own life, on social media, hey, I don't really know if this video really represents what a lot of this community is about, but if you're looking for real answers, like you're truly trying to change your life and your health, keto and carnivore are great things to do, and I can direct you to some information that could really help you. And you take a look at it, consider it, see what you think. It doesn't have to be any more difficult than that because we're not preaching at people. We're not beating them over the head, and we're not jumping down their throat about how they're doing it all wrong when they're struggling. Drives me crazy because I see this online and I go, no, this is not why we're here. We don't beat people over the head for using the wrong seasoning on their ribeye. There are people that do that, but we shouldn't. There are people who are struggling. And you know what? If they can eat ribeye, give up all the other stuff, but they're like, I'm going to use a little bit of this seasoning on it because that's what keeps me stable. That's what keeps me going and losing weight. And maybe I'll work on that down the road. But right now, that's what keeps me going. Use the seasoning. Use all the seasoning. I don't care. This is a journey, and it's a one step at a time. And we can't jump down people's throats because we need to be working on this together. If we don't fix this, we are going to lose people who could have been saved. And I know that sounds dramatic when I say that way, but I really mean it. And as dramatic as it sounds, I don't think it's actually dramatic and unrealistic. I think it's real. We are going to lose people we could have saved if we don't fix our ability as a community to come together. Doesn't mean we have to agree on everything. Sure, we can still have our videos where we're talking about differences and we're trying to figure this out. But I have seen some hatred going back and forth, even amongst other creators, back and forth from each other. And it's like, whether it's GLP-1s or seasonings or no seasonings, or red meat or not including red meat, or all red meat, or including some of the stuff. Is it a ruminant animal? Is it a monogastric? I mean, some of the stuff that people are getting wrapped up in and they're arguing about, I look at it and I go, I'm in this community and I think you're crazy and don't want to listen to you. How does someone from the outside, who is the one who really needs the help, how are they going to look at that? And if we don't fix it, we are going to lose people we could have saved. Every time we attack each other, instead of try to educate people, we are going to push someone back towards big food and big pharma. Every time we do that, we are pushing someone back to big food and big pharma. And honestly, if you're a bigger creator, you might be pushing thousands of someone's back, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of someone's back over however many years that video or post or whatever is online. Do we really want to have to go to bed and sleep with that at night on our conscience? I know I don't. And I'm not perfect at any of this. I'm struggling as much as anybody else to figure out how we all navigate this, but I'm just like, someone has to talk about this because it's getting worse. We cannot let the loudest and most judgmental voices define who we are as a community. That's what I'm trying to say. If we do that, we are going to miss so much opportunity to help people and save people. I am here to help people. I am here to offer things to people that they can use to hopefully save their lives. And I'm not a doctor, and I wish that, I had the ability to do that kind of stuff. I look at what Dr. Barry can do with the knowledge he has about the body and the science of the nutrition and all this stuff, and I'm like, I'm trying to learn. Like, I'm sitting on his shoulders trying to learn how this all works with, the nutrition stuff, because he knows so much more than I do in that area. But I have my area too. I walk in a kitchen and do things he probably would never even attempt, right? So I'm using what I have to try to offer what I can to the community to help people the exact same way. And that's what I want to do. And I want every one of you to do it too, because if you're watching this, you probably know about a lot of this. And guess what? You are special and talented and capable of helping people too. And if we all do this and we all work on this together, think about the thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people we could save, we could help. We could get our message out to people all around the world on that level, the exact same as vegans did. There's no reason we can't, but we have to work together to do it. So this is what I'm asking for you guys. Don't scroll past the nonsense. Right? I'm not saying go and argue with those people. Hear me. I do not hear what I'm not saying. Hear very clearly what I am saying. Don't scroll past the nonsense. Don't argue with those people, but don't scroll past the nonsense. Stand up and say something positive. So if you see somebody who goes, everyone who quits carnivore is weak and worthless. It's a real comment I removed on my Facebook post. Instead of scrolling past it, post right above it. People who are quitting carnivore may really be struggling. And if they're really struggling, they need some support and they need to know that it's okay because we're all human and we all struggle with various things. Here's some information that really helped me. Share your story and inspire people. Don't scroll past the nonsense. Combat it. Jesus said darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Likewise, hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. So when you see someone being hateful, add some love into the situation. Add some positive things in these places. Because then we start putting a voice to the good side of this community. And it's right there neck and neck with the people who are loud and negative. And we can't always stop that. We can't censor it. But if it's there and we add our own juxtaposition to it, we can change a lot of lives and we can inspire a lot of people. It's one of the comments I get most regularly on my channel. Chris, thank you for this inspiring blah, 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 blah. I really needed to hear this today, whatever the thing is I said. And that's why I keep doing it, because there are people that I say something, I don't even know what's going on. I'm just putting it out there trying to offer support, and they go, I needed this today. This recipe, this thing you said, this whatever is going to keep me going. It's my chance to make a difference in the world. And I'm not special in this. I have my own unique talents I use. That's why I do the crazy recipes I do and run this channel. But in our lives, each one of us has the ability to do this for people. And as a community, if we all start doing this, we become a unified voice. Not because we agree on every last little single thing, but because we agree on the goal being to save people who need it. And they see us not as a cult and not as crazy and not as people who are angry and hateful and nasty and beating them over the head. Instead, they go, wow, those people in that low carb community, they're really supportive and inspiring. And even if I don't do what they do, they still care. And they tell me about what they do, not because they want to force it down my throat and tell me how bad I am and how good they are. They tell me about it because they want me to be healthy, and they're excited about it because they found good health, and they're trying to help me find the same thing. I think that's a future worth fighting for. I think that's something that's worth maybe pissing a lot of people off for. Because you can't do anything and change lives without making some enemies. I was thinking about this the other day because I had several Facebook posts that have done really well talking about this kind of stuff, talking about the video, my top 5 quitting carnivore video, and some other things. Just, these kinds of subjects. Man, those things have done well and gotten me a lot of hate in the comment section. And that's fine. It's, that's part of it. Funny story, I got bullied online by a guy who's writing an anti-bullying book for kids, supposedly. Just literally came out of the woodwork, jumping all down my throat. And I went to his profile to see if he was joking or something. And the very first post was talking about how he's writing an anti-bullying book, and it was him putting a chapter up asking for people's feedback, teaching kids not to bully other people and how to stand up to bullies. And he was a real character, but this is what's going on. I get a lot of this because of the fact that my reach is as big as it is, but that's fine. But I was thinking about this because I've had several posts that I've gotten a lot of this lately. And I was thinking, if you really want to know how hateful the human race can be, go be successful online at helping some people. Because if you go online and you help people, you will draw the wrath of everyone who says that's not the way you should be doing this, or people who aren't doing it themselves, I guess, or whatever it is. And I realized there was so much of this. And here's the thing, almost everyone, there are a couple of people that randomly came out of nowhere. Almost everyone on those posts that was giving me that hatred were people in the carnivore space telling me how stupid I was, and how people who quit are weak, and people who don't do it right are never going to get over their addiction, and people who are struggling aren't worth the time. And I mean, spewing pure hatred for people who are struggling. And that is why I decided to do this live stream. Because it really caught me off guard, and it really broke my heart. Because there are people, just like I used to be, there are people who don't have the confidence and the self-worth and the clarity of mind to be able to see through that. And that's the kind of stuff that it's that's one of those things you find out somebody ended their own life because they were told this online. I mean, online bullying is not a joke. And I have a great supportive community and a wonderful support network, my family and friends and all this stuff. So I can pretty much just kind of look at it and I go, man, they're crazy. And I let it go and I move on. But there are a lot of people in those comment sections that are struggling, and they can't, because they're not mentally at a place where they can do that. And those are the people that need this help the most. And then these really hateful carnivores come into the comment section and blanket statement beat up anyone who had to quit or who struggled or any of these things for being worthless. So I just It's welcome to the internet. I've seen people go ballistic over crying about fat shaming is a big turnoff and is also bad rhetoric you need to recognize. Nick, you're a troll. Do I need to block you, or can you actually understand that this isn't about me and this is about calling out evil in the world, which right now you're standing on the wrong side and pointing the gun in the wrong direction, my friend. So do you want me to block you, or can you be a part of the community here and let's figure out how we can be a voice of optimism and positivity and help people? Or do you want to just keep telling me that the way I'm doing this is wrong? Because I don't see you doing anything to help anybody right now. You're being exactly what I'm talking about right now. This right here, this is a good example. I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to inspire a community, and I'm explaining why. And whoever this person is telling me the way I'm doing that's wrong. Rather than going out and doing something about it themselves, they're telling me it's wrong to do what I'm doing. Crying about fat shaming is a big turnoff. Well, you know what, Nick? You're free to leave. Let the door hit you on the way out. So, if we want the low-carb movement to mean something, to help people, we have to be the change that saves it. I really believe that. I'm trying to do that, and I'm encouraging any of you who agree with me to do that. Loving, polite, kind, optimistic. A way that is supporting people who truly need our help. Because if people don't think there's someone out there trying to support them when they're at their lowest, what do they have to lean on? I was at this point myself. There was a time in my life that if I would have seen comments like this in a comment section, it could have completely derailed what I was trying to do. Thankfully, I have an incredible wife who is very supportive and very loving and very kind and lifted me up from some of my darkest moments. I have wonderful parents who shared keto with me, which led me down a whole rabbit hole, and they encouraged me because they wanted to see me get healthy as well. And I was blessed to have the opportunity to change my life, which is why I'm still here and why I'm still alive. And there are people out there that are on the edge, that are teetering, that are struggling, that are falling off. And people like this online go unchecked, unchallenged, and they beat people like that up. And I'm not saying you have to go back at that person and argue with them. But if you see it, can we intentionally go interject some positive support for people in whatever part of social media we're in to represent what the keto and carnivore world is about better? Rather than ignoring it and acting like the priest on the side of the road who doesn't have time for the man who was beaten up. What if we can act like the Samaritan? And we can actually go over and we can help people. That's a world that I would like to live in. And any one of us that says, oh, I'm just one person, I can't change it, it's kind of missing the point. All of us together is how we do this. I can't do it. Try my best to, do what I can where I have some influence with somebody that, if they'll listen to me, or if I can post something that helps someone or create a recipe or, whatever. But I can't do it alone. You guys can't do it alone, but all of us doing it together, we can do a lot. And I think it would be a really cool thing to see a wave of people in the keto and carnivore world going, hey, you can't get around metabolically what happens from eating these foods, but we are also not going to beat you up for struggling with it because you're a human being. I'm not going to validate you eating cupcakes and tell you, oh, it's okay, you're a human, go ahead, eat as many cupcakes as you want. I'm not going to say that. It's like, I ate this cupcake and I feel terrible and I'm feeling guilty and all this kind of stuff. Hey, you know what? Forget about it. Don't even think about it. You don't need to feel guilty. Food is not a morality issue. It's a psychological thing. And you're struggling with it because we've been trained psychologically and chemically to be addicted to these terrible things. So let's treat this like something that truly needs to be supported and helped. Like an addiction. You don't take an addict and beat them up over the fact that they're using or they're drinking or they're doing whatever it is and then shame them into changing. That doesn't work. They have like programs and support networks, and they have a community around them that helps keep them accountable, but also helps them understand their self-worth. Like this is all here. We all know this. It's part of society. So why suddenly, when I eat steak and this person doesn't, do I now think, oh, if I just beat them over the head and insult them enough, that's going to make a difference? It's not going to make a difference. Well, if I just beat them over the head and insult them, well, at least that makes me look good. No, it doesn't. It doesn't make anybody look good to do that. That's being a terrible human being. And then we go back to my original point of ruining the image of the keto and carnivore world, which then means the credibility and the trust that all of these people that need help would normally rely on. They look at that and they go, these people are crazy. They're a cult. They're a bunch of bullies. Why would I want to be a part of that? I've sat face to face with people that are about to break down in tears over their metabolic health issues, talking about how they appreciate the fact that I'm not like the other carnivores. That's not a one-time thing. That's a repeated over and over pattern with me. And that really makes me sit here and go, so if these are random people that I'm just coming across in my life, happen to get talking about carnivore, and that's been their experience, what is the general public, nationwide, worldwide, what is their experience like with keto and carnivore? And how do we change it? I don't know. Call me an optimist. Call me crazy. I believe the only reason that you can't change the world is true is because everyone stopped trying. People like Martin Luther King Jr., there's so many people that have made massive changes throughout history. The founding fathers, when they built the whole concept of the United States, the land of the free, right? Like, just go all throughout history. Find all of these people that made people mad by standing for what was right and trying to help people, even though they knew it was at great personal risk. Those people all changed the world. Some of them died for it. That goes back to my faith. You die to save other people if you have to. I'm just trying to figure out how we can all work together so none of us has to die and we can save a lot of people. I think it's a really important thing, and I think it's a really worthwhile thing for us to do. The world doesn't change when we yell louder. It changes when we live our example louder. And love, support, and positivity with that goes a whole lot further with the people who are struggling than anger and shame and guilt and hatred. How do you drive out hate? Love. So when you see it, I'm asking you, don't scroll past it. Go inject some positive carnivore, keto, whatever love and support into that scenario. Doesn't have to be anything big, just starting to make a little bit of a move of the needle in this community would make a huge difference. I don't want to see us all fight. I want to see us all work together. I want to see us all change lives. So, I have talked a lot, and I have said a lot of stuff, and I very passionately have expressed how I feel about all of this. Let me pop over here to the comment section and see if there is anything super important going on. If you have questions, anything that is worth us just kind of touching on here before I let you guys go tonight. Rebecca Harmon, it saved me too. Absolutely. That is such a common storyline that we hear because so many people have been helped by this. Retta is here. Hi, Chris. Been watching you for quite a while. Appreciate you and your cooking. Part of Dr. Barry's tribe. Watching from Buffalo Gap, Texas. Well, that's cool, Retta. Thank you so much for saying hello. I also do stuff in Dr. Barry's group. If you guys are over there, if you're tribe members, let me know. I do the Cooking with Chris section over there on Dr. Barry's group, and we do some really cool stuff. And we actually have some stuff coming up soon. So major shout out to Dr. Barry and Nisha for asking me to come be a part of that and for all the work they do, because they saved me and I'm trying to pass it on and save the next person as a way to say thank you. Alex, shout out to Dr. Barry. He's basically the main source for low-carb carnivore information. Makes it all simple and digestible. I agree. He's the first person I turn to when I'm trying to research something. He's not the only person I listen to, but he is definitely the first one. And, you know, Dr. Barry and he's a friend of mine that I just cannot overstate how important he and Nisha are to us. But I just think Dr. Barry and I understand each other. You know, we're both good country redneck boys that just care about this kind of stuff, and we come at it from different perspectives and different expertise areas, but we have a common goal, and that is to help people. Kay, I also owe my life to Dr. Ken, Nisha, Dr. Anthony, Dr. Fung. Dr. Fung's a good one. Keto Christina, Dr. Baker. Yeah, there's so many good ones. Rebecca says, my husband has finally jumped on the bandwagon after Low Carb for Better Health 25. He was previously just supporting me in my health journey. Well, that's fantastic, Rebecca. Congrats. I'm so glad that he's on the board with you now. That's amazing. Brian, be the best person you can be. Inspire others by your actions. Teach, don't dictate. Amen, Brian. And you were 100% right. They want us fighting, if not about politics, then about healthcare, food system, etc., etc. I totally agree. The more people can fight about stuff, the less they can actually get done. That's what I'm trying to say, guys. Like, let's not fight in the keto and carnivore world. Let's just get some stuff done. But we have to be able to stand up and reach out and help people. Like, we have to make the effort to help people. Otherwise, it just never happens. Daryl, if they keep us fighting and separated, they can continue with the lies and profit from us not healing. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. I really like this. Tammy says, as long as I'm living, I'm always learning. I gather information from lots of sources and make it work for me. How sad that people ruin it for others that have changed their lifestyle. I agree. I totally agree. And Artie Andy is making a great point. The gatekeeping is terrible. I agree. Totally agree. Daughter of the Lion is here. Great chat. Let's encourage one another to find our own path in the low carb to lion spectrum. We don't all need the same amount of healing, and we come from different traumas. Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. Thank you, Tammy. I'm glad you love the videos. Let's see. Juju is here, one of our Rockstar moderators. Hi, Juju. It's good to see you. Let's see. Eileen says, I don't know if it's the anonymity of the internet or just the mean girl syndrome that makes people need to show superiority. If you don't do it the way I do, you shouldn't even bother. I agree. I don't really understand where that comes from. You know, I mean, listen, no one's perfect, myself included. There are times that I've been angry and I've said things that I shouldn't. Every human being on the planet has done this. But the thing that I really find weird about social media, specifically in the low carb space, is they go to attack people that have nothing to do with anything they're doing. Like, they seek it out. And here's the deal. Ash and I are in the music business, okay? But we're professional musicians here in Nashville. If there is a business that is going to rake you over the coals, it is the music industry. I have gotten more hatred from keto and carnivore people that are super dogmatic than I have ever gotten in the music industry. I've never been treated like that by the music industry before. And that's why I'm like, it may be a small part of the community, but man, they're loud and they are venomous when they go after you. Peggy says, I'm moving to the point that I'm just saying I eat the proper human diet, meat heavy, and keep carnivore keto to myself. Actually, I'm struggling with it all these last couple of months. Carb crap. Peggy, I understand. It's so easy. It is so easy to get thrown off by things in life. And, you know, I mean, that's part of being a human. But the thing that I think makes such a huge difference is knowing that you're not worth somehow less because of it. And then knowing when you come back, you're not going to be treated differently. That's the important part. And that's why I'm really glad you're here. And you're doing great, Peggy. Keep at it and keep fighting it. Let us know how we can support you. Lisa Marie, I belong to a lot of groups, including RV groups. I'm constantly sticking up for newbies and or someone just asking an innocent question. Keyboard warriors suck. Good for you, Lisa Marie, and I agree, they do. But if those of us who are sticking up for newbies are always out there just trying to encourage them, It gives them a place to find hope. Joe, I'm not talking about AI bots. I'm talking about people that are in the keto and carnivore world that are actually going after you. Yes, there are some AI bots, sure. But I'm not talking about AI bots. I'm talking about real people. I've had the conversations with them. I can tell the difference between an AI bot and a person. And again, that ignore the BS, I agree, but we already talked about it. There's danger in silence because it doesn't fix anything. Daryl says, silence has hurt our nation and people. We just went along with the mainstream info and it got us in our worst health and troubles in the nation. I agree. I totally agree. Let's see. Brother Barry is here. Barry Weems, how are you, my brother? Good to see you. And let's see. There's my brother Do It Wrong, Lewis Stone. Howdy, y'all. Y'all just got home from work. What did I miss? Lewis, you missed some preaching, man. You have to go back and you got to go back and watch. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Artie Andy, I agree with you. Debating with people on the internet is not a fruitful endeavor. But I'm not talking about debating with them. I'm talking about going and injecting that positivity into those circumstances. Daughter of the Lion, yes, let's be the good Samaritan. Let's encourage people towards a healthy relationship with food and thereby help them heal. People quit before they can learn because of the self-righteous attitudes. Absolutely 100% agree with you. And that's why I felt it was so important we have this conversation, because it's grown significantly. I mean, I make my living doing this, right? Like, I am a full-time YouTuber, content creator, all of this. So I'm in this daily. I'm in this comments and the YouTube videos talking about algorithms, looking at research, because I try to pay my bills by doing this to the best of my ability, and also being a musician and the other things Ash and I do. And I'm in this daily because if you don't grow, you can't reach more people. And so that's what I'm doing all day, every day. And I have seen the trend change. And that's why I felt like this was so important. Brian, you can't let the fox in the chicken coop. Stand up, because when they run out of people who need help the most, they will come after you next. I agree. I totally agree. Let's see. Artie Andy is welcome to disagree. Marty, we should all be willing to stand up for what we believe in, whether it's our faith in God or in this way of eating. I totally agree. Juju, you're so sweet. Chris, you're doing amazing too. Juju, you are doing amazing. I'm so proud of you. You're doing so fantastic. Carla says, thank you for telling the truth. It is not a cult, and they just need to take 90 days and prove to themselves what happens. I agree with you, Carla. I agree. And Cheryl says, the struggle is real every day for a food or sugar addict. We have to have food to survive, and big food and big pharma know this. The more people eat processed, convenient foods, the more unhealthy people there will be. It's a moneymaker for them. Unfortunately, some people feel the need to feel superior. All we can do is continue to talk about the benefits of carnivore, keto, and low carb. I've been up and down the scale since I was a child, been on several different diets, and have found that, I think maybe that got cut off. But yeah, Cheryl, I totally agree with you. I totally agree. You know, and to Artie's point, you can't change people's minds when they don't want the message, but how do you know you can't change their mind if you don't try? Someone has to. There's a guy, I'm forgetting his name. There was a guy who, African-American man, businessman, really smart guy, and he went around intentionally befriending members of the KKK. And he would win them over to understanding that he was not bad because of his skin color. And he had a closet full of hoods that he had collected from members that he had convinced to leave that organization. Now you think about someone who has dark skin going to the trouble of trying to change the mind of somebody who preaches hate for that person. There are a lot of people that can be changed if you're willing to try. But you got to try. Daryl says the biggest thing we can do is share our testimony on keto and carnivore and not judge. Let the testimony yell from the rooftops, or from the rafters rather, because it was a gift from God that opened our own eyes. I agree with you, Daryl. I totally agree. Alec makes a great point. This is exactly what I'm saying. In doing so and remaining silent, you also let anyone willing to listen falter to the trolls. Panya Tarania is here. Chris, you and your lovely one have helped me not be in a cult. Much appreciate you both. Well, I appreciate you, and I'm so glad that you enjoy the work that we do, and I hope it helps. I really do. Juju makes a great point. Don't change their minds. We need to change their hearts. I totally agree. Rick is here. Charger Mopar. So many people looking for attention, it seems. I totally agree. Let's see. Jen, thank you for addressing this. I've stumbled upon a few. Makes me cringe. I agree, Jen. Thank you for being here. Hey, there's Carnivore Quest. How are you, Larry and Cassie? It's good to see you guys. I hope you guys are well. Love you both. Says, there's always been carnivore dogmatic idiots in the space. I think it's actually gotten better out there. 3 years ago, you'd get your head bitten off for mentioning coffee. Yeah, there's a real realm where it is it's the Wild West in certain places in the space, and that's why I would like for us to be able to bring some civility into that if we can as a community. Angie says, I don't think it's just about keto or carnivore at this point. Humanity's been challenged in several ways, and I can't believe we live in a world where some people want to hurt others. Well, Angie, unfortunately, I think this is where my faith beliefs kind of, tend to, again, come back into my videos, but it's just the condition of the human heart. We just need some Jesus. Got to change your heart, and he's the only one who can do that. Peggy says, just today on a post about health, not PhD, someone said they had made health changes, but glucose levels still not lowered. I wanted to suggest she consider reducing carbs, but I did not. Right. And see, that fear of maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't, because I did not want to see the crap comments as a result. Now I see I should have. Peggy, I don't think it's necessarily a you should have, but I think this is something we all have to work towards together as a community. Because just one of us doing that, you are going to get a lot of crap comments, and it's going to be very difficult. But if a bunch of us go out positively supportive, helping people, offering support, not engaging the negativity, but offering the support and standing up to the things that are wrong, we could really start to do something. And then you wouldn't be alone, and you wouldn't have this fear, because I totally relate to you. I have that fear on those things. I don't want to say anything. That's why I do it on my channel, where if I need to, I can block people. I get it, Peggy. I think you are very validated in feeling that way. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's a hard thing to do. Pamela is here. Sugar is my enemy, and the traditional food pyramid that has been recommended is wrong. The food system and the high fructose corn syrup and all those things that put weight on over the years, we need to educate people on. Not just a diet, it's a way of life. That doesn't make it easy. Sometimes do appreciate all your recipes and all your effort. Well, thank you, Pamela, and I agree with you. We've got a lot of work to do. Marty, veganism is more accepted in my opinion because it more closely matches with Big Food, Big Pharma's recommendations and what we've been led to believe for decades. I totally agree. I'm just going to put that up because this is exactly what I'm talking about, guys. I'm really sorry you feel that way, that I want to help people and that this is your approach to that. That's really sad. That's really too bad. We're just going to take care of that. There we go. See what I mean, guys? If you want to know what people are like, go try to help people. Juju, I'm currently making jalapeno salt as we speak. It's the end of summer garden. It's ugly, but I'm always thankful. Juju, that's awesome. Jalapeno salt sounds really good. Let's see. Deb, Facebook is horrible with how they treat people. It's honestly, it's all the social medias. It just depends on how successful it does a post do on one versus another. Anytime I have a video that does well or a post that does well on any of them, it just all comes because it ends up in people's feeds, and there's just people out there waiting to pounce. So that's why we have to be able to stick together and understand all this. Let's see. Brian, stand up, help, lead, don't follow. I totally agree. Carnivore Quest, I've seen some pretty brutal comments over the years. I know, I am so sorry, guys. I've seen some of the videos where you've talked about it. I'm so sorry. I would honestly, when you guys talk about the comments that you've gotten on some things, that's one of the places where I started noticing this. You were talking about it, and then I started seeing it in my comments, and then on others people's stuff online, and I mean, you guys have dealt with it, and you guys are awesome the way you handle things. God bless you both for the positive light that you are. Love you guys. Alex says, Chris, your recipes are literally the best things that could have happened to me, and because they allowed to breach the gap between SAD and a proper diet, it's hard to give up foods you grew up with. Well, I'm very glad, Alec. I appreciate that. Is that Mishe? I'm not sure. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing your name, and I apologize. I'm a redneck from Indiana. I do my best. Thank you for the authenticity and transparency, and most especially for being human. Well, thank you for support, because without you guys being here and supporting me, I never could have done the things that I do now. I probably wouldn't even be here without this community, so. Cheryl says the recipe's been a wonderful addition to meals. Carnivore mashed potatoes when you feel like I need a side dish for chuck roast. Best thing is mostly eggs, but tastes close potatoes you can get. I appreciate that, Cheryl. I like that recipe too. I actually just made that the other night because that's going to be in the cookbook. Juju, Peggy, absolutely. I didn't plant these jalapenos. They were volunteers, my favorite plants. I think just harvested nearly a pound mid-October in Virginia. Juju, you got a green thumb, girl. Retta, besides your weight loss and improved health, your presence and confidence are really shining these days. Reminds me of this little light of mine. I'm going to let it shine. Retta, that is it, and that's what I'm trying to do. Let the light shine, and I just want you guys to do it with me. This is part of unmasking. This whole, getting my diagnosis and understanding my neurodivergence, getting my brain regulated, and then unmasking and just being me. Hawaiian shirts and telling you what I think. There we go. That's autism, baby. And some ADHD, right? Peggy, my PCP tells me this way of eating is not sustainable after I told her I've been struggling lately after doing very well the past almost 2 years. I understand, Peggy. It's finding solutions and tools is the key, I think, to that. And it's not necessarily me giving you medical advice or anything like that, or even knowing what I'm talking about. That's just kind of my general, I feel like this is probably the thing that a lot of people are missing. Because when I hear a lot of people talk about, I had to quit carnivore, and then they tell me the reasons why, I go, whether you quit carnivore and go keto or not, I don't really care. It's not about carnivore versus keto at all. It's why we're not enemies. It's why this whole live stream is here. But, if you really want to stick to carnivore, though, and then I see people that are like, I wanted to, but I just couldn't, and here's why, I go, some of my recipes would have really helped them, But I don't want to be judgmental like that, so I don't say anything. But it's that's why tools like that can help. So I got Larry and Cassie laughing. Get them, Chris. Rebecca, we need to show them love, absolutely, and sometimes love hurts a little bit. It's okay to be a little passionate and fiery with your love. You want to be rude and, angry and hateful, but you can be a little passionate about it. I'm still learning a little passionate about it. I'm getting all worked up here. Jen, still, me off that carnivorous me got bullied off the internet by carnivore purists as well as trolls. She was a big inspiration with her honesty as well as you in Carnivore Quest. Thank you, Jen. Yes, carnivorous me is a great example of how this can happen to people. And honestly, she was probably the first person that I was like, holy crap, this is a problem. Look what it's actually doing to real people. And it sort of led down this whole thing between her and then, Carnivore Quest talking about the comments they get sometimes. And I saw it on, even Dr. Barry gets it in his chat. He just has so many people, he never sees it because he doesn't have near enough time to get all that. So he doesn't have to, himself handle a lot of that. His moderators have to deal with all kinds of it. I watch them. And it's wild how widespread it's becoming. So, Sally, I've left almost every carnivore group because of the judgment and hate. I am in 2 of them, and both of them I was invited personally by the moderator of the group, and they said, please come in here and post all of your stuff because I want you in here. It's the only 2 groups I'm in, and it's because of exactly that. Lynn, this is a great community. We're totally behind you, Chris. You've helped so many people. Thank you. Well, thank you, Lynn. You have helped so many people, including me. We love you very much. I don't know what I would ever do without you. Beth, Chris, agree with you 100%. Thank you, Beth. Glad you're here. Let's see. Brian, exactly, Chris. Help lead, be the leader, not the person who has to put down others. I agree, man. We're just trying to help people here. Let's see. Sorry about that, Juju. A commercial cut you off. The world that I want to live in is one where we are all kind and supportive and helpful to each other, and we're all reaching out to people who are in need of love and support. And when we see someone struggling, we don't beat them up for it, but we help them get through it. That's the world I want to live in. Marty, if not for you and your recipes, Chris, I doubt that we have lasted this long on this way of eating. Your recipes are awesome. Well, Marty, I appreciate that, brother. I can't wait to cook for you guys coming soon, too. That's going to be fun. Bad Farmhouse is here. I love you, Chris. Well, I love you, too. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. You guys don't realize I'm a real human being like everybody else, and sitting behind this part of the camera, like on this side of the camera, does not make me immune to the feelings of what it's like to do this sometimes. And especially like with autism and ADHD and things. I also have what's called RSD, which is rejection sensitive dysphoria. Go Google that if you want some light reading. My emotions can struggle. And people telling me things that they value that I do what I do, it's not because I need attention or because I want, some I need to feel special thing. It's the way my brain is wired, and it reminds me that what I'm doing matters to people because my default is to think that what I do doesn't matter unless someone is saying something that it does. And so when you guys say stuff like this, it really means a lot. So thank you for that. It's what keeps me going, keeps me focused. North Dakota Carnivore, awesome just seeing you are alive. Well, thank you for joining, my friend. Glad you are here. Brian, be part of the tribe, not the one tearing it down. Amen, brother. Brian's got all of these great things he's saying tonight. Y'all need to go back through the chat and look at Brian's stuff. Dennis, having dealt with trolls since the early days of the internet, I understand what Andy means about not having the energy anymore or wanting to spend the energy on them. I get it. It gets exhausting. Cheryl, continue to stay positive, Chris. It's hard some days, but you have great information to share. Love your videos and recipes and talks. There will always be naysayers and rude people that feel the need to comment and try to insult. But stay positive and continue to do what you do. I'm doing my best. Angie, I hear Pastor Bob in my head. He says, now go and be a blessing. Yes, fantastic. What a great thing. Quote Pastor Bob. Heck yeah. We need to support each other and give each other grace. Chris, you and Ash have been extremely helpful and a blessing to many of us. Well, thank you, Angie. We're just trying to help people. And not everyone agrees with the way we try to help people, but we're trying it. We're doing the best we can. Peggy, Marty Crum, do I ever agree with you there? Thankful for Chris and the band. Peggy, you are so sweet. Peggy's another band member as well. Guys, don't forget the QR code right here. Go scan that. Come join the band. We'd love to have you guys in there and just do some extra stuff like this. And you get to see me a little more uncensored with my crazy neurodivergent self coming soon. So that's going to be good. Do it wrong, Lewis Stone. Exactly why I have this YouTube name. Now when someone jumps on me for doing keto or carnivore wrong, I just say, thank you, and move on. Lewis, you're funny. Oh, love that. Emily, the same thing happened to Carnivore's chef. Thankfully, he's back and stronger. I make it a point now to over-comment on his stuff to make sure he knows he's supported. Emily, this is why you are amazing. There's many reasons you're amazing, but it's another reason you're amazing, because you are going out and intentionally lifting someone up. And no YouTuber in the world is big enough to not still be susceptible to feeling down. Me included. Dennis, however, Chris has a good suggestion. Don't reply directly to the troll. Just post positive and supportive separate post. Also can post verifiable facts or refer to studies. Absolutely, you can totally do that. Let's see. Daryl is correct. All addicts need support, especially people addicted to food. People usually fail when they try and heal on their own. My motto has always been treat others like you want your grandmother treated. Absolutely. And you guys don't have to do it alone. That's why this community, the band, that's why it's right there. It's what we do. Support you guys. When you're having a hard day, come in there and talk to us about it. Emily, I have a college student whose parents are carnivore and, yes, tribe members who bully their kid for not eating like them. At least that's how he sees it. I've met a few people that do exactly this, yeah. And they talk about their kids and how they're going to shame them into being carnivore and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, but they kind of learned their eating habits from you and you were wrong. And did somebody shame you into this, or did you make a good decision for yourself because you found inspiration to try? Just my thoughts. Holly Springer, I've always said, just because you're the loudest does not make you the rightest. I like that. I like that. Alec would still argue that we should disown the bad apples. Talking from the gaming community perspective, been to lax with gatekeeping, got it all messed up. Yeah, I think everyone kind of has to figure out how their approach to that is, what that looks like. But yeah, I think it's whatever it looks like for you, it's putting a stop to it and then putting the positivity and the support out there that people really need. I think that's the part that's really important. My 8 sisters. If you have 8 sisters, that's a lot. I really enjoy and respect your hard work. I know this way of eating works. Thank you. Well, you're welcome. Thank you. Let's see. Culture. It is cool. A reflection of our culture these days and just about everything. I like Chris's idea for supporting people by commenting. Yeah. And says, you have been a real blessing to the PhD group. Well, Colleen, thank you so much. I'm just trying to help people in any way that I can. It's what makes me happy. It's what gets me out of bed in the morning. So we're just about done here, guys. Okay, I forgot to add you and Ash for all your help on my struggle. Your recipe for bread made with dried egg whites, which I adapted and still make when I want a bread-like loaf. Okay, I'm so glad. I just trying to give people options, just trying to help, And I love hearing stories of when it works and when it's helpful to you guys. Let's see. There are a lot of topics that are polarizing these days. It's unfortunate that we can no longer disagree and be kind to each other. I agree. The beautiful Alyssa Rogers dropping in. Oh my goodness. If you guys don't know Alyssa, she is the head coach over in Dr. Barry's PhD group in the tribe. She is amazing. She is an expert in all sorts of things, especially with women's health, with these things. She has made a huge difference in Ash's life, and we love Alyssa very, very, very much. Alyssa, it is so good to see you, my beautiful friend. I must have missed the good part. Well, yeah, but you can go back and watch the replay and listen to me rant. I went full tism on everybody. So, not in a rude way, I don't think. If I sounded rude, I apologize. That's the tism. But it was very passionate. And it was very, yes. Yes, it's very important to me. Let's put it that way. Carnivore Quest says, in the end, be kind to one another and pay it forward. Amen. Absolutely. And Juju was talking about that guy I was talking about. Daryl Davis was his name. It says more than 200 members to renounce their beliefs. Isn't that amazing? Carnivore Quest, Jesus is king. Amen, my friends. Amen. And if you guys don't believe what I believe, that's okay. I love you anyway. But for me, that's the key to it all. And Juju's right. A whole lot of Jesus and a little bit of caffeine. That's what gets me through. Jay Ennis is here. I'm here, Chris. Great message. Love supporting you and great shirt. Well, thank you kindly. I really like this shirt. I had to wear something special for my nephew being born this morning, so. Let's see. Daryl, keep up the awesome work getting Keto Carnivore out there. You never know who or how many it really helps. And that is what I'm talking about. You never know. You never, ever, ever know how many people you might help. Rebecca, as a Christian, I love seeing this in our community. Me too. Colleen says, amen, we need more Jesus. Maritza's here. Congratulations on baby Liam. Thank you, Maritza. And Risa's Cluttered Kitchen pops in. Better late than never. Hi, guys. Hi, Risa. Let's see. Pamela says, cookbook? I live for cookbooks. Yes, hopefully early this next year. I'm writing it and taking photographs and all that stuff. Right now, we're dead in the middle of it, guys. Every single day I'm working on this. Hopefully early this next year, we'll have the first Chris Cookin' Nashville cookbook coming out. Y'all stay tuned. Make sure you've liked and subscribed so you get notifications, because I'll be telling you about it here online when it's time for pre-orders. So, let's see. Let's see. Those trolls and loud a-holes don't want to get invited to speaking gigs. Amen, Emily. Juju, more uncensored than this? What? That's possible? Oh, sister, believe me. I really try to keep it in between the navigational beacons, as it were, for YouTube. I really do. So, Brian's taken off, and Pamela says, yay, and yes, Jesus is Lord. Well, guys, we are at the end of the comments. We're about an hour and a half in. I appreciate all of you. Go up here to the QR codes. You can join the band if you want to be a part of the private community. We do extra stuff there, live streams, extra recipes. I show you guys what we're doing behind the scenes. Like, there's a lot of really cool stuff, and it's an amazing and supporting group. You don't get beaten up in there, because if someone starts beating you up, I will block them from the group, because we don't tolerate that. So that's my way of standing up. So guys, go out anywhere you can and put some positive energy, some optimism, maybe a little bit of Jesus, if that's what you believe like me, into the world, and use Keto and Carnivore not as a way to elevate above others, but as a way to help lift others up and encourage them, because we really need that in this community. We're not enemies. We are supposed to be here together as a family, trying to help save people. That's what it's about. It's what I'm all about. So I appreciate you guys being here. Alec has a question. Hey Chris, have you figured out your 90-second bread with an oven instead of the wave? No, I have not yet, and the reason for that is because those microwaves massively exciting the water molecules, and steaming them suddenly is what causes the puff in that bread. So to create the same thing in an oven, it's going to take a lot longer, and I'm probably going to have to add baking powder or something. So still playing around with it though, so stick tight. Let's see. Carnivore Quest, good night, y'all. Awesome stream, Chris. Hey, you guys rock. Thank you for tuning in and being in the comment section. I love seeing you guys, and we couldn't do this all without you. Before you guys ever knew who I was watching Carnivore Quest, and I was actually learning a lot and taking a lot of inspiration from Larry and Cassie being real. So part of why I'm here is because they helped inspire me to do this. So you guys rock. All of you guys rock. I love all of you. Go up here, join the band. Would love to have you guys over there, and make sure you've liked and subscribed. Hit the notification bell so you know when things are coming, like the cookbook coming soon. And I will catch you guys very soon in either the studio or the kitchen doing recipes. Who knows what else. But you guys remember, eat your meat, love your life. It says it right there. Eat your meat, love your life, and go spread some love in the keto and carnivore world out there, because there's some people who really need it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, y'all.